Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Health Ministry declares dengue outbreak in Nandi and Ba. TLTB clarifies Monasavu money issued to landowners. And judge overrules assessors, finds man guilty of manslaughter.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The Ministry of Health and Medical Services has declared an outbreak of dengue fever in Nandi and Ba. This comes after a total of 312 confirmed cases were recorded in the Western Division, with the majority being in these two areas. One death in the West has also been confirmed so far by the Ministry. Kelly Vadala reports.
The Health Ministry is concerned with the high number of dengue fever admissions in Western hospitals. National Advisor for Communicable Diseases Dr. Alicia Sahu Khan says most patients have been admitted with severe dengue.
Numbers of confirmed cases have continued to rise beyond the numbers expected for this time of the year in the Western Division. We are also very concerned about the high numbers of confirmed dengue patients who are admitted to hospitals in Nandi and Ba. There have been 140 admissions recorded so far this year in the Western Division for dengue fever. Of these, 51 were admitted at Ba Mission Hospital and 54 at Nandi Subdivisional Hospital.
Khan says there's also a surge capacity assessment in the West, which is looking to see if the division has the resources to deal with more dengue cases.
Our Ministry of Health team has been in constant contact with the divisional team, especially with our Fiji Pharmaceutical Services, who is in constant contact and talking to the divisional teams about what they need, if they're running out of any consumables.
National Advisor Environmental Health Deep Chand says their officers are currently in the Western Division and are working closely with Fijians to ensure they keep the environment clean.
At the moment, as we speak, from last month, our whole medical team is moving in the field. They are on the ground, they are talking to the people, they are empowering them, they are teaching them. And same time, if they don't listen, we are litigating. We are also charging people for breach of Public Health Act in terms of providing breeding grounds for mosquitoes.
The Health Ministry says the elimination of mosquito breeding places needs to become a routine activity for all Fijians and is urging people to clear blocked drains, containers and keep the environment clean. Kelly Vatala, FBC News.
We now join Kelly, who has been on this story today. Kelly, I understand the stats released today puts the confirmed number of cases at around 800.
Yes, Jackie, a total of 862 confirmed dengue cases have been recorded by the Health Ministry from all divisional hospitals around the country. These cases come in between the period of 1st January this year to just last week, Saturday. The Central Division recorded 41 confirmed dengue cases, while in the North they recorded 509 cases. And as you have seen and heard earlier, 312 confirmed cases in the Western Division. Health officials are closely monitoring this outbreak in the West and are also advising the people to please clean up your compound so that there's no breeding places for mosquitoes to spread the dengue virus. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Kelly. The election supervisor has for the first time publicly stated his family has received threats from fake profiles. Speaking at the elections workshop for the media in Suva, Mohammed Saneem says these threats won't stop him and his office from doing their work. Saneem says he has advised his family and staff to maintain their ethics. Saneem says come election day, these fake profiles will not vote.
As the supervisor of elections, fake profiles can target my office all they want, but on election day, decisions will be made by those who turn up, not by those who continue to harp and complain, but by those who turn up. So if you are a fake profiler, or whatever they call them in social media language, I'm subject to your assistance in that. News for you, only the real person can vote.
A directive has been issued to Monasavu landowners to stop bringing up issues pertaining to their lease money, as everything regarding their land has been sorted by government. Speaking at a Talanoa session in Vatukola, Ithau K-Land's Trust Board General Secretary Solomone Nata told landowners that they should avoid bringing up questions on Monasavu, as everything has been dealt with. Ali Kimbia with the story.
While responding to questions posed by the landowners of Monasavu, Nata said the government through TLTB has already distributed lease money to all landowners, and the remainder of their lease money is with their lawyer Sireli Fa.
Since 1984, lease money was distributed amongst every Matangalian Navusa, while some money was invested by the government through TLTB to assist the landowners.
Referring to the catchment lease money of $50 million that was paid out to landowners, Nata said some of the money was shared to landowners while a portion is with FA according to the court ruling. Nata says this money can be given to TLTB as there is a clause in the court ruling that states the funds can be transferred after 2 years but at the consent of the landowners.
We have tried to get signatures from the Monasavu landowners to change the way in which the catchment money is being distributed. However, they were unable to get the number of signatures needed, with only 30% of the total landowners signing off.
According to the landowners, they wanted to transfer their money from FA to TLTB. However, there were differences amongst the 10 landowning Yavusa in Monasavu.
The TLTB is true. They came around and there are differences between landowners. And many of us don't understand on why we need to transfer all the money to TLTB, and that's why many did not sign the papers.
Nanga claims FA is not releasing lease money for some of the Yavusa since 2006, and that's why they wanted TLTB to intervene. However, FBC News has sent questions to lawyer Sireli Fa, and they are yet to be answered. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
After 3 assessors found him not guilty of the murder of Manuel Dus yesterday, today High Court Judge Vincent Pereira convicted Samson Lal from Nandera of manslaughter. 44-year-old Lal killed 48-year-old Dus in a drunken dispute at Jitu Estate, Rewanga in May 2016. The deceased used to sell goods along Sese Street in Samambula, Suva. When delivering his judgment, Judge Pereira said the accused knew what he was doing and the circumstances of the case proved manslaughter. Lal will be sentenced tomorrow. The government has spent over $200 million in rebuilding schools which were destroyed by Tropical Cyclone Winston in 2016. This was revealed by the Attorney General and Minister for Education Ayaz Said Qayyum during a side meeting at the Commonwealth Ministers meeting in Nandi today. Said Qayyum says over 225 schools were damaged, of which some are still in the process of being rebuilt. He adds the government's utmost priority was to get the education system up and running after Cyclone Winston. The Education Minister says the biggest issue post-Winston was the standard of construction.
95% of all the schools that we are rebuilding, none of them actually even had an architectural plan or engineer certificate. So now government is actually rebuilding. It's costing us over $200 million and we yet to complete all of them.
During his visit to Fiji last week, United Nations Human Rights Commissioner Zaid Al Hussein questioned the autonomy of some institutions in Fiji. Hussein said he is concerned about the independence of the Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission. Commission Director Ashwin Raj says it is unfortunate that the Commissioner never raised these issues in his discussions with them. Raj says the manner in which Fiji engaged with the UN High Commissioner on the occasion of his recent visit is a strong testament to Fiji's openness to international scrutiny. Anna Ravulo reports.
The UN Human Rights Commissioner called for the government to review the framework of a number of independent bodies, one being the Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission.
While there are a number of independent institutions, including the Constitutional Affairs Commission, the Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission, I am concerned about a basic structural flaw that bring into question whether these bodies are truly autonomous.
Commissioner Director Ashwin Raj says that Fijians are best to answer whether they are autonomous.
It's significant that the question of autonomy and the effectiveness of the commission is something that I would leave to the citizens of this country, and particularly those with no access to social mobility.
However, Raj says it's a very strong statement that Fiji is open to scrutiny, including international scrutiny. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Still to come, women get over $12 million in support.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na radio Fiji 1 and the moi viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola ndo tali taka na radio Fiji 1 kina ndo moi viti.
Kaya kuyazo silil tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali tagi yang gitu Venezuela pun nangguntur rongo, barong na radio Fiji 1 nandu moi viti.
Na radio Fiji 1 nandu moi viti na bonga ni BNN.
The University of the South Pacific and the Fiji National University have both stated that they continue to assist students in any way they can when they are affected by natural disaster. The two universities both presented during the 20th Commonwealth Education Ministers meeting on the topic of recovering from natural disasters. They also state that students' welfare was always paramount. Felipe Naikaso has more.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Making sure that students were safe was the main concern for universities when Tropical Cyclone Winston struck Fiji in 2016. The Fiji National University revealed during the presentation that some of their policies had to be waived in order to assist students.
Adjust and flex some of our academic policies and procedures in terms of waiver of late fees penalty, shifting the timetables, shifting the deadlines for assessments and final examinations, and pushing back the graduation, and in some cases simply waiving of fees for students who were severely impacted, but that came through a process.
It was also the university's duty to ensure that students were given enough time to recover from natural disasters.
Lesson that we really learned from the Cyclone Winston the last time, that we really had to take it seriously, form a framework, a proper policy and plan for the universities to comply with.
Counseling students after any natural disaster was also an important aspect of assistance provided by the universities.
The first initial notice of Cyclone Gita was coming, and that it was entering the country as Category 5. I think the horrors of Winston basically resurfaced in a lot of people's minds, and there was this fear that we were going to go through the same thing again.
Cyclone Gita in Tonga, we had our network being cut off because of there's no electricity in Tonga right now, and also the telecommunication is not on to the campus, and the students are affected. In times like this in the islands, the priority is for them to help out with their families and their communities.
The conference will end on Friday. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
South Pacific Business Development Fiji dispersed around $12 million in unsecured loans to women across the country last year. The money was distributed to more than 9,000 women to assist them in starting up their own small businesses. Sainiani Boyla reports.
After working with thousands of women in about 400 villages last year, PSPBD President Gregory Casagrande says this year they will assist the women in staying on the right track with weekly meetings and trainings.
Where our ladies get all the ongoing guidance and motivation and small business training and financial literacy education and things that help them make their businesses a success.
Casagrande says they also have plans for women who have best utilized their loans and wish to take their business to the next level.
Small and medium enterprise loan product. These are for our especially successful women micro-entrepreneurs who want to further scale their business to a significantly larger size, where they'll be bringing in a number of employees and have more facilities. And so this SME financing is something that we're seeing significantly more of in 2020.
36-year-old Velisi Tambo of Nasilaina Kello, who has a loan of more than $36,000, says the SPD's support has greatly helped her fish business to flourish.
Money was really useful for the business. Actually, I did
a lot of improving in my business and my family, and so I want to take the opportunity to thank SPBD for always supporting us ladies in our business.
The SPD has provided more than 34,250 loans in Fiji, worth around $33 million since 2010. Their aim is to improve lives through microfinance. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Close to 40 people from various media organisations gathered in Suva today for the election workshop for the media. Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem says it's vital to have this workshop as media plays a significant role in ensuring that Fiji enjoys a free, fair and credible election. Saneem says the workshop has been held in various countries and will give a boost to journalists covering this year's general elections.
This is very important because the media currently stands between information and misinformation. Media also stands between social media and the story.
Turning to world news now, this isn't something that happens all the time, but popular fast food chain KFC has closed more than half of its 900 UK outlets after delivery problems caused them to run out of chicken. It is unclear when the delivery problems will be rectified, a KFC spokesperson said. No such issues in sports, that's coming up ahead. We have all the build-up to the Super Rugby games for this weekend, but up next is Rachel with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight, young entrepreneurs gather to better skills. And in growing Fiji, China helps Fiji for TC Gita rehab. Stay with us.
Moala ranavika, o tikongona taon singa toka, ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na sere.
Ya dora subuli kurnambili, iborani batukara hambara binaranga, do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na sere. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
In business tonight, the Fijian government is committed in helping young entrepreneurs in achieving their dreams. Officiating at the opening of the University of the South Pacific's Entrepreneurial Fair, Trade Minister Faiz Koya says the young generation stand to gain a lot during the 5-day workshop. Loata Wangani Vavalangi reports.
The fair will hold seminars and workshops that will provide a platform for young and future entrepreneurs not only learn but share ideas, something which the Fijian government is fully supportive of.
We'll match the aspiring entrepreneurs with successful entrepreneurs from Fiji and from abroad who will share their journey and their experience, which is an important event that the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Tourism wholeheartedly supports.
Successful New Zealand entrepreneur Pig Picot says he is excited to share his experience with the budding entrepreneurs.
Don't be afraid of failure, you know. There's really no such thing. You do stuff and you learn things.
The workshop ends on Friday. Lawata Wangani Vavalangi, FBC News.
Some interesting provisional visitor arrivals for last month as a decrease of 3.5% was recorded compared to January 2016. The number of tourists from Australia dropped by 6% compared to January 2016. Huge drops of 36.4% from China, 14% from Japan and 2.1% from the United Kingdom were also recorded, whereas increases were recorded in a number of visitor arrivals from New Zealand, Europe, Pacific Islands, America, Canada, the rest of Asia and South Korea. Fiji continues to be the top destination for holidaying purpose with a chunk of 72.7% of total arrivals. And Sharon is here with the latest from the money market.
Thank you. Let's have a quick look at some of the economic indicators around the world. The New Zealand Producer Price Index, or PPI, is a measure of price changes of goods produced. It rose in the December quarter with input prices up 0.9% and output prices up 1%. Meanwhile, Australia released the minutes of their monetary policy meeting during the day with no surprises noted. We didn't see much activity in US session today either. There is a holiday today following China's celebration of the Lunar New Year, and mainland China remains closed until Thursday. Coming up overnight, we will have some important announcements from the EU, and a major release is expected on Thursday from the United States. And that's all for now. Thank you.
Thanks for the update, Sharon. Looking at today's current exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar rose against the Kiwi dollar, the PNG Kina and the Japanese yen, sliding slightly against the other currencies we cover. As for the commodities market, oil prices were up to close at $62.74 a barrel. Gold closed down about $5 at $1,345 an ounce, and silver was about the same from yesterday, closing at $16.65 an ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, the Chinese government has donated $100,000 to its Fijian counterpart to assist in the rehabilitation works post-tropical cyclone Gita. People's Republic of China's ambassador to Fiji presented the check to Prime Minister Bainimarama yesterday. Bainimarama says Fiji is grateful to China and the donation will help them to assist the Fijian families who were affected in the Lao group. And that's it from business this evening. Now to sports. Here's Melly with the latest.
Thanks, Rachel. Good evening. Coming up, Fiji star weightlifting team gear for Commonwealth Games. And Lautoka's Vanuatu defender ready for OFC Champions League. This and more after the break.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफरी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
Fiji's 5 top weightlifters will from this week test themselves against some of the best in the sports during the Australian International Open. Alin Dikamatana, Apollonia Waiwai, Manuel Itolo Poamanganga and Daniela Renimbongi will be using this tournament as the last build-up before the Commonwealth Games. Apart from Eileen Dikamatana, the other 4 lifters have been doing the hard yards, trying locally.
Everybody's looking good and we have only niggling injuries, but at the moment the team is fully confident of producing a good results in Brisbane.
19-year-old Dikamatana, who's currently training in New Caledonia, will then join her fellow lifters in Brisbane for the Australian Open.
Like I said, Eileen, nearly all the competitions she attended last year, she was breaking the Commonwealth record. So hopefully in this week's Australian International, hopefully that maybe she'll break some more records.
20-year-old Daniela Renimbongi, who won a bronze at the 2017 Pacific Mini Games, says under the leadership of coach Joe Vietti, he has been able to discover his true talent and compete at the elite level.
He's a weightlifter too, so he has experience on weightlifting, and the program he gives us is very hard, so we just have to go with the program that he gives.
The Australian Open will see more than 100 athletes take part from 7 Oceania countries. Lautoka Soccer's Vanuatu defender Brian Kaltek says his new side can mix it with the very best in the OFC Champions League. On Sunday, Kaltek and the Blues will start their campaign to be crowned the best in the region, and know too well they will not have an easy ride. First, Neil Prasad reports.
Football import Brian Kaltek believes this is the best chance for the Blues to stamp its mark in the OFC Champions League this year. He says with the bulk of experience in the squad, the Blues will be a tough team to beat.
I just need to give my heart out, my every best that I can. All the boys, they already have skills and talent and everything. I just come here to, just fill about this, add more and everything. Yeah, that's it.
Caltech, who has played 2 Vodafone Premier League matches, says the team has put a lot of hard yards in the training.
The training is going well. Some of the boys have just been into it and stuff, so we just a few weeks we have been toughening up the trainings a little bit, but now I think the coaches find out that the much of injuries and stuff, so we just we slack it a little bit and just flow with the trainings.
Apart from the players raring to go, the officials have also sorted out the logistics for their trip to Auckland.
All the paperwork has been sorted out regarding this. The visas have been lost and everything is in the right order.
Lautoka opens its Champions League campaign against Dengue at 12 p.m. on Sunday, and you can watch the match live on FBC TV. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Fiji Airways men's sevens coach Gareth Baber believes he has rectified the mistakes that was made at the Sydney and Hamilton tournaments. Baber says kickoff is one of the key areas the team has been working on in camp. The side departs for Las Vegas tomorrow and plays Russia, France and Kenya in their pool games next weekend.
We've looked in training at different mechanisms which can test the opposition in winning of possession, line out being one of those. But the huge influence of the kickoff plays in the game generally is a bit more of a focus for us.
The Fiji Airways has announced their exclusive airline sponsorship of the Super Rugby defending champions Crusaders in Christchurch today. Has made a surprise visit to the Blues Super Rugby team. Seattle Seahawks defensive star Michael Bennett visited the Blues camp to learn more about rugby's tackling techniques. The Blues' first opponent in the opening Super Rugby round, the Highlanders are being through plenty of changes in the off-season, but the side is confident enough to make a winning start. Following the recent performance at the Oceania Championship in New Zealand, the Fiji women's badminton side is ready to put on a stronger team for the upcoming Commonwealth Games. The side bagged the bronze medal at the championship after defeated Tahiti in the playoffs. They are now awaiting Fasanok's decision in the final squad for the Commonwealth Games.
We hope that from these 2 tournaments that can give us a strong case for the number of players that can be sent to the Commonwealth Games, and hopefully that will provide a stronger case. We've had good performances, very solid performances, particularly at the Oceania Championships, and so we're really hoping that that can be a good solid foundation of really making justification to Fasanok.
That's it from sports tonight. Join Angie later on with weather. And in the world of weird and the wonderful, we will tell you about robotic wheelchairs. Details after the break.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and the Moiviti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kina ndo Moiviti.
Ayaw ko azo silitale. Nagurara may nawamanyi nandonga gitu talita gili ang gibina sibale bum nagudorongo barrongo na Radio Fiji 1 nando Moiviti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 nando Moiviti na bonga ni BNN.
In new media, we have a few photography apps and experiments from Google featuring adoptable dogs and an Instagrammer. In Fiji Pulse tonight, we asked, should there be more awareness in schools about fire safety?
Yes, I think there should be more awareness done in schools as the young people involved. It is important to maintain their safety, and prevention is better than cure.
There should be more awareness for the safety of the students in school.
Children nowadays need fire safety awareness because it's important.
Safety needs to be done in schools.
There should be more awareness in schools about fire safety, and parents should also teach their children on fire safety because it's everyone's responsibility.
Yes, there should be more awareness in schools, but
It's the parents' responsibility to let their children know more about this.
It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. A lovely Tuesday with lots of sun. Well, it's been quite muggy, and if you were out and about, hope you had your sunscreens on. Taking a look in the west for today, it has been extremely humid throughout. Watch for showers later tonight. Eastwards from Pakaba to Suva, the day was bright as ever. However, late night showers are possible. And up north, clouds were active for rainy spells, so we could expect a downpour tonight. At sea, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. As for the tides, low tide will be at 9:50 p.m. with high tide at 3:46 p.m. Sunrise will be at 6:02. For tomorrow, a much similar day with light showers expected for the Eastern Division. Tomorrow's temps, Savu will be cool at 29 degrees. And looking further on to Thursday, possible light showers can be expected. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. And tonight in the world of the weird and wonderful, robotic wheelchairs are already available in some countries. But what if a disabled person needs to travel over a bumpy stretch of road or climb stairs? A lab in South Korea is experimenting with a walking robot with a comfortable seat for a human operator. Capping the main stories tonight, Health Ministry declares dengue outbreak in Nandi and Ba. TLTV clarifies Monasavu money issued to landowners. And judge overrules assessors, finds man guilty of manslaughter. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Now to our poll question this week, we are asking: should strict penalties be implemented against those pedestrians who use mobile phones while crossing roads? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day. The picture taken at the government buildings in Suva, where an employee takes time out to feed the fish. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply #FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
On the radio Fiji 1 and the Moiviti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kung minasong mo tikola, ang talita na radio Fiji 1 kina the Moiviti.
Kaya ako sila tali. Naguraramay na umani. Nando nga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasabali. Nagundurong barong na radio Fiji 1 nando Moiviti.
Na radio Fiji 1 nando Moiviti na honga ni BNN.